Hello there, friends, and welcome to my playthrough of Bravely Default 2. A game that oozes that classic RPG charm while bringing some fresh and creative ideas to the table to help set it apart from the rest. The hand-drawn locations and vibrant art style that this series is known for is, in my opinion, at its best with this entry. The characters are likable, and the music, oh man, the music. Although, this is definitely a game that was hit hard by a certain virus that'll go unnamed, and some weird design choices that didn't resonate with a sizable amount of the community that followed this franchise. But with that said, I fully believe that this game has more to it than meets the eye, and I will do my part to showcase it in the best light I can. Lastly, I want to say real quick that despite what you might think from its title, Bravely Default 2 is a standalone game, and you do not need to know anything about its previous entries in the series to enjoy this one, outside of some very subtle callbacks here and there. Now, that's enough of staring at this title screen, don't you think? Let's get this adventure started, shall we?
I am that which whispers, which carries, which connects. This thread of life, adrift, untethered. It must be woven back into the fabric of the world. Remember. Remember who you are.
Okay, our first option of this game is to choose our difficulty. Now, there actually is a little bit more to this choice than meets the eye initially, and if you're playing on the Steam version, which I actually am, picking hard mode will give you an achievement if you go through the entire game from start to finish without changing the difficulty, if that's something that matters to you. But for the majority of this playthrough, I will be playing on normal mode. I'll be switching it from casual to hard mode every now and then just to showcase a few things, but overall, normal mode is what I'm going to be picking.
Now go. Return to the land. To your destiny. Cry out. Call out your name.
Okay, this is a series first, but don't worry, we are not playing as a silent protagonist in this game. Now, unfortunately, Square Enix already thought of something I wanted to do, which, I would really like to name myself John Bravely Default, but I have 18 out of 16 character limit here. Screw you, Square. So, unfortunately, we're going to be stuck with Seth. Your name doesn't matter too much. It affects one major piece of content that we'll see in a little bit, but overall, just don't name yourself anything super stupid, and you'll be okay. Please note that some characters may not be displayed correctly. Be aware that this name will be shared with others if online functionality is used. That's a spoiler, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So, we are Seth.
Where am I?
Is this what the crystal wished to show us?
Without a doubt, my lady. Where the light led, there he lay.
Are those voices? But whose?
'Twould seem he is a young man of the sea,
This is all a little unexpected, I must say. But I trust you, Sir Sloane, and I trust the light of the crystal.
He may not seem much, milady, but appearances can be deceiving. In any case, he is in need of urgent treatment. Let us return to town with all haste. We will talk more of what this means at a later juncture.
Can't believe I survived. Huh? Where am I?
You are in Halcyonia, in an inn. Don't be alarmed, you are quite safe. Now that you appear to be capable of speaking, perhaps you could tell me a little about yourself.
Me? Sure, I mean, I'm just a regular sailor, I guess. My ship got hit by this huge wave, and I was swept overboard. I don't remember anything after that. Guess I must have drifted here on the tide.
I see. Then perhaps it was the crystal's will after all.
Huh? What do you mean?
Ah, our young seafarer has awoken at last. Verily, thy plight hath troubled us greatly, friend. We had feared the very worst.
This is Sir Sloane, the royal man-at-arms.
The what?
Come, my lady, we must make haste. It will not do to keep King Vernon waiting.
Indeed not. We will leave right away.
Wait, you're going to meet a king? Who exactly are you?
Gloria of Musa, at your service. Princess Gloria of Musa, if you prefer my proper title. Although, since my kingdom was destroyed, I've been unsure whether I'm worthy of it any longer.
You're a princess.
I shall explain everything in due course. For now, you would do well to rest a while longer.
Sure. Okay.
Alright, it's time to get your adventure underway. Any key locations you need to visit in order to move the story forward will be indicated by the yellow diamond icon. With like a smaller yellow diamond, looks like a baseball diamond to me. Anyway, why not start by seeing where it leads you? If you ever get confused about where you're supposed to be doing, you can always press and hold RB to check your current objectives. The button layouts may depend on what you're using. Could be keyboard, could be Nintendo Switch, could be Xbox, what have you. 2 Phoenix Downs in this treasure chest right here. We'll go over what that does in a little bit.
Feeling better now, are you?
Yeah. Thanks for letting me stay here.
Don't mention it. It's only right to help people out when they're in need.
Well, thanks all the same. So this place is called Halcyonia, right? Can't say I've ever heard of it. Where exactly are we?
Ah, I didn't think you were from around here. All right, let me show you on a map. Here we are.
What the? This map doesn't make any sense. Where the heck am I?
I heard you met with something of a calamity.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. My ship was hit by a giant wave. Must have been a freak storm or something.
Oh dear. Yes, we've been hearing a lot about enormous waves and the like lately. We're all right here in the city, but I heard they wreaked havoc down on the coast.
That doesn't sound good. Maybe I should go check it out. See if I can figure out what happened to me.
Well, the seaside's not far south of here. Follow the road out of town, and you'll be there in a jiffy. Tell you what, why don't you take the map with you in case you get lost?
Really? Thanks.
Funnily enough, this map is actually fairly accurate to how the overworld looks, so this is actually quite useful. The menu is now accessible. Use Y to open it. That doesn't really match me because my controls are inverted. Okay, we've had a lot of information dumped on us all at once at the start here. Time to dump you with more since we have the menu available. If we want to take a look at the map again, we go to the travel log here. We can see ourselves on Halcyonia. We can check and see what our story objective is. If we have any side quests, we can check them here as well. If we want to review some cutscenes or tutorials, we can see them here in the travel log as well. Don't need to do any of that just yet. We have the items menu, the magic menu. Not going to get into that right now. Equipment. We'll dive into this a bit deeper in a little bit. Just know that Seth is currently only equipped with a dagger and a tunic. Nothing we can do about that right now. These two are blocked off. We have attributes, which just showcases Seth's stats. We have the lore, which showcases guides for items and weapons and monsters we've encountered. And then we have the options, which is the main thing I want to focus on right now. I want to go to the settings here, because we can change our difficulty settings if you want right here in the settings menu, as you would assume. But there are some options here that I want to go ahead and toggle on and off. Quick default, I've been saying this a lot, but I'll get into what that means in a little bit, but I want to go ahead and turn this on. And then I'm going to turn off display controls during event scenes, so there's a little bit more immersion there. We're going to set text display speed to fast, and then we're going to make our default movement speed run. There we go. Apply these changes. Okay, that's enough rambling. Let's go ahead and run outside to see what Halcyonia is all about. Home of the Spring Breeze, welcome to Halcyonia. You'll find various helpful establishments in the villages, towns, and cities you visit on your adventure. The icon with the sword, shield, and items is shops. These sell equipment, items, and other vital supplies. The bed icon are inns. Rest here to recover HP and MP. That's your health and magic points. If you're struggling to find a particular establishment, press in on the right joystick to get a zoomed out view of your current location. Again, button icons may vary. If you need to get somewhere quickly, you can push and hold the RT to break into a run. If you have run as your auto movement, it'll be a walk that you break into. First things first, one of my favorite things about the Bravely franchise is the hand-drawn locations. It's so beautiful, and I think Bravely Default 2 has the best the series has ever had in terms of these locations. It's straight out of a pop-up book. It looks so amazing. The artists and developers did a wonderful job bringing this entire place to life. And we have a lot of citizens we can talk to. Let's go and talk to this guy here. Something strange is happening to the ocean. High seas, big waves, sudden storms. It's got the tides all messed up too, which means people can't go out fishing. No one's seen anything like it before. Well, that's not good. But we've heard quite a bit about that recently. Do you have everything you need for your travels? If not, our shop should be able to help you. Listen, even if you don't need anything, could you at least go in and browse a bit? My father gives me money for every customer I bring into the shop. You know what? We're starting a new series. I'm in a pretty good mood. Let's go ahead and check it out. So, the shops. We can see that we can buy a bunch of different items that we can see the description of. Again, not going to mess with any of those. We'll see them naturally. We can buy some weapons and armor and accessories if we really want to. But I'm going to take the girl's advice and just kind of peruse and not buy anything. Because we're going to get to why I don't really want to work with shops right now. Next, we're going to go down here. And because I've played this game before, I know that there's a treasure chest right here. With a buckler, which is a shield that we can go ahead and equip on Seth. Shields are pretty useful in this game. And the buckler, despite, not being a weapon, is very nice because it doesn't slow us down. Again, we'll get into what that means in a little bit. We only have one season here in Halcyonia. Spring. It's nice and warm all year round. Perfect for taking outdoor naps. The pollen's the only problem. My hay fever basically never goes away. Well, Halcyonia is already my least favorite place on the planet because spring is my least favorite season. So, yeah, you couldn't catch me dead here. Princess Gloria's been with us for a few years now, ever since she had to flee her own kingdom. Musa, it was called. Surely she can't stay here forever, though. I wonder what she'll do. We mustn't abandon hope, no matter how bleak things become. We need to take courage and look to the future. The heroes of light are sure to cut through the darkness and come to our aid. That's what people used to say when I was a little girl, anyway. I have no idea if it's actually true. You know what? Spouting stuff that you don't understand? I feel ya. Alcionian produce is the best you could ever hope to find. That's why our drinks taste so good. Look, it must be true. I've been drinking the local brew all day. I'm not gonna interrupt your happiness there, buddy. Musa was only a small kingdom, but it had so much history. I don't understand what could have just destroyed it like that. I mean, there are loads of rumors. Monsters, civil war, you name it. No one really knows the truth, though. Bro, the princess of that destroyed nation is here in this nation, you know? It seems pretty simple enough, just go ask her, you know? Alcyone is the most prosperous and peaceful kingdom that's ever existed. I'm so lucky to have been born here. I mean, just look at what's going on elsewhere. A destroyed kingdom here, a military dictatorship there. That was quite the jump there, pal. Alright, I'm not gonna stay here and just talk to villagers all day. We need to check on our shipwreck here. So let's go ahead and head on out.
Princess Gloria, thank you for joining us. I think you may have some inkling of why I have summoned you here. It concerns the future of the Musan royal line. It has been 3 years now since you came here to our kingdom, and while I can only imagine your pain at having lost your realm under such tragic circumstances, there comes a time when one must turn from the past and begin to look forward. I wonder if you might consider making your stay here a more long-term arrangement. Prime Minister Horton has convinced me that in finding you a suitable match, we might sooner bring about the restoration of your kingdom.
Has he indeed?
Thank you, Your Majesty. Yes, with King Vernon's permission, I have instructed my heralds to canvass potential suitors for you, Princess Gloria. Musa's unfortunate end need not mean the end of its illustrious line, after all.
I see. And have you any thoughts on the matter, Sir Sloane?
The honorable gentleman's line of reasoning is not without merit. Such an arrangement would indeed benefit Musa in the long term.
Ah, wise words, Sir Sloane. Your reputation as both a warrior and a thinker is well deserved, I see.
Yet I would not dream to speak for Her Highness, of course. 'Tis she and she alone who must decide.
King Vernon, your concern for my well-being is, as ever, far more than I deserve. Alas, I have a sacred duty to perform before I can even begin to consider such worldly affairs. This being so, I am afraid I have no choice but to respectfully decline your suggestion.
What? How dare you treat King Vernon's kind offices with such disdain? Why, a match has been all but agreed already. Do you wish His Majesty to look a fool?
That will be quite enough, Horton. We have no right to expect anything of Princess Gloria beyond her kindness in hearing us out. We are friends and allies of long standing, and her wishes will be respected. If it is not impolite to ask, Your Highness, what is this sacred duty of which you speak?
The time has come for me to recover my kingdom's greatest treasures, the 4 crystals. Fortunately, thanks to Sir Sloane, the wind crystal is safely in my possession already, but the whereabouts of the others remain unknown. And that does not bode well. Fire, water, wind, earth, nature's masters. The crystal's power exceeds the hand of man, and if unleashed, would bring down death, disaster, calamity and blight upon the land. I learned those lines as soon as I could talk, and if I understand them correctly, the troubled seas may be merely the first among many calamities to come.
It is my duty, no, my destiny, as Princess of Musa to do all that I can to prevent further misfortune befalling our world. And I shall fulfill it.
Very well. I understand completely. Princess Gloria, you must go. You must fulfill your destiny.
Thank you, King Vernon. Your understanding in the matter is much appreciated.
Political intrigue on the first episode? Must be a new record. When you're out and about in the field, it's a good idea to take a look around and get the lay of the land as you travel. Who knows what, or who, you might find hiding in unexpected places. For a detailed overview of the camera controls, open the menu and go to the options and settings. When you're out in the field or exploring a dungeon, you can press X to swing your sword. Try using it to cut some grass or to give a monster a nasty surprise. You never know what might happen. That's true. You can save your game at any time when you're in a town or out in the field by opening the menu and selecting options and then save. Even if you forget to save, the handy autosave function, not haughty, will occasionally record your progress for you. Look for the saving message in the bottom right corner of the screen. While this can be useful, you should still make a habit of saving regularly just to be safe. As someone who makes these types of videos, autosave is the evilest thing on the planet. I'm so glad there's more than one save file in this game. Okay, yeah, so we can technically be this continent's entire lawnmower here if we really want to, and just kind of explore and cutting down grass. The bushes here tend to have more loot than just regular tall grass. I don't have any proof to say that they have a higher chance of dropping stuff, but generally speaking, if I'm going to find something, it's usually in like, darker grass bush areas. Anyways, we're not here to cut grass, we're here to explore the boat.
Whoa.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I heard it was bad, but this is something else.
You should have seen the size of the waves. They smashed absolutely everything to
A monster! Quickly! Get out of here!
Yep, time for our first battle. Here we go. Let's stay focused. I'm definitely not going to do that. Here we go.
Okay, what's the plan?
Two commands form the key components of the Bravely series' unique battle system. Brave and Default. It's in the title. Use Default to accumulate built-up power and Brave to unleash it. The Brave command is a potent offensive technique that enables a character to spend BP in order to increase the number of actions they can perform that turn. You can use it to string together chains of up to 4 moves, using an item, then attacking 3 times, for example. It's even possible to borrow BP against future turns, enabling you to pile on the pressure when the time is right. Think of it as using future turns in the moment. The Default command is a powerful defensive maneuver that enables a character to hunker down and bank their action for that turn in the form of a Brave Point, or BP. The safest way to progress through battle is to often begin by building up BP through the use of the Default command, and then obviously using those turns at a later juncture. Alright, it's time to try out the Brave command for yourself. You don't currently have any BP banked, but you can borrow against the BP of future turns to perform up to 3 extra actions. It's worth mentioning, however, that this may not always be the best idea, but never mind that for now. Try using the Brave command a few times to perform multiple attacks. This is a tutorial fight after all, can't be that hard, right? Use the Brave. We can use the right bumper to Brave, or we can just tap the button normally. We can also increase the battle speed by just pushing plus here. We can go maximum speed here. The enemies also abide by the Brave and Default system as well. They can use multiple actions per turn if they want to. As we can see, we had to build up our BP again there. The key benefit of the Brave command is that it lets you perform multiple actions in a single turn. Be aware, however, that if you borrow BP against future turns, you'll end up with a deficit that must be worked off before you can act again. Wipe the enemy out in one go and you'll have nothing to worry about, but it's worth bearing in mind the risks if your gamble doesn't pay off. The Default command can be employed to offset the downside of being Brave. You can use it to accumulate up to 3 BP. with the help of which you'll be able to act 4 times and still take your next turn as normal. Build up BP, then let 'em loose. Bear those words in mind, particularly in bigger battles, and you won't go far wrong. Alright, let's try out Default.
Here goes!
Crikey! Sorry, pal. I didn't see you standing there.
How many times have I told you? Look before you cast. You can't just jump in spells blazing.
And how many times have I told you? I'm a big picture guy. He's alright, isn't he? Don't sweat the details.
Someone has to when you're going around nearly frazzling people. Are you alright?
Yeah, I guess. But who are you exactly?
Just a couple of concerned passers-by. This guy's a wandering scholar, and I'm the one he hired to try and keep him out of trouble. The name's Adele.
Oh, and I'm Elvis.
Anyway, enough chit-chat. We've got a battle to finish. Try not to incinerate anyone, okay, Elvis?
Aye, I'll do my best.
Okay, we've got 2 new party members here, Elvis and Adele. I haven't gone into it yet, but we have unique actions here with Elvis, but we're gonna go ahead and default with him as well. And we have Adele here. We're gonna use her ability Miscellany to examine these goblins. You can see their stats, their weaknesses, and what type of family they belong to. Adele's turn to come around again, so let's go ahead and try her out. She's got a long sword and a dagger here. Pretty decent damage there, so let's go ahead and have Seth finish off this goblin. Oh, well, didn't work out there. Okay, well then let's use Elvis's black magic here to attack the enemy's weaknesses. This blizzard here will affect their water weakness. There we go, 233 damage.
You guys are good at this.
Yes, they are. Alright. At the end of every single battle, we will obtain EXP, JP, and P. EXP will affect our character's levels, JP will affect our character's job levels, and P is the currency of this game. And we might sometimes obtain some items.
And in a scrap, aren't you, laddie? That was some tasty brawling.
It really was. You were definitely more help than a certain so-called scholar I could mention.
Ha! Aye, less of that. I pulled my weight fair and square. Isn't that right, pal?
Huh? Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, you're only saying that because he put you on the spot. It's all right, you know. You can tell us what you really think. Besides, if you're nice to this one, it'll only go to his head.
And what would be so wrong with that, eh? Go on, son. Praise away. I could do with a wee boost to the old self-esteem.
Believe me, that's the last thing he needs.
Anyway, thanks for helping me out back there. Miss.
Hey, less of that. It's just plain Adele, okay?
Aye, we don't stand much in ceremony, us two. What are you doing scrapping with monsters anyway? You don't look like your average warrior, I must say.
Oh, I was just helping out an old lady who was in trouble.
Ah, have a go hero, eh? Very noble. I reckon you and me are going to get along just fine. Which is lucky, because I'm about to take you back to town and treat you to a wee drink.
Oh, really? Are you sure?
Am I sure? After a bonding experience like that, I insist on it.
Well, in that case, all right.
That's the spirit.
Ho-ho! Then away to the tavern we go. I've worked up a right old thirst. Oh, but before I forget, have you seen one of these about the place?
What is it?
It's called an asterisk. Us two are on a journey collecting them, which is how we ended up happening across you.
But we're not friends or anything. I'm only here because he hired me.
Okay, details. Anyway, we heard there was someone around these parts in possession of one of these wee beauties, so I was wondering if you might know something?
No. Sorry, guys. I'm not from around here. Matter of fact, I'm not even here by choice. I got shipwrecked and just kind of washed up nearby.
A shipwreck? Talk about a calamity.
Yeah, I guess. But hey, I'm still alive and I wasn't too badly hurt, so...
Aye. Sounds like you've plenty to be thankful for. Not least of all meeting the two of us. Now, shall we go and celebrate or what? That bar won't prop itself up.
Elvis and Adele join the party. I love these guys so much. Jobs and abilities can now be viewed and managed from the menu.
Your Highness, a wandering merchant brings most worrisome tidings. The desert kingdom of Savalon is beset by a sudden abundance of water. So much so that full half the capital has been submerged. A deluge in the desert, milady. 'Tis unheard of. I would fain hazard a guess that this is a crystal's doing.
Savalon? The kingdom is a muse and ally of long standing.
And King Orion is a fine man. I am sure he would be happy to tell us more about what has been happening. We should head there right away.
One moment, milady. Lurk not in the shadows, rogues. Show yourselves.
Very impressive, Sir Sloane. The greatest swordsman in the land is still as sharp as ever, it seems.
Thou knowest me. Then thee and thy companion are no mere sneak thieves, it would seem. Perhaps thou might do me the kindness of an introduction.
Well, since you asked so nicely, my sharp-eyed friend, I am Selena.
Yeah, and I'm Dag.
We will come straight to the point, yes? Princess Gloria, we want the Wind Crystal. Please make this easy for everyone and hand it over.
What?
Come now. Do as we say, and no one will have to get hurt.
Never mind all the fancy talk, Selena. Let's just bash him and take the bloody thing. The old codger's already got one foot in the grave. We'll be done with him in no time.
Thou thinkest me too old to school thee, boy? There is life in this old dog yet.
Ooh, Gramps has got a temper on him. Well, rage all you like, mate. You don't stand a chance against me.
Is that an asterisk?
Too right it is. Bet you wish you'd just given us the crystal now, don't ya? Bring it, old man.
What? Was it you? Do the despoilers of Musa stand before me?
Musa? What are you on about?
Mayhap you are mere mercenaries. In which case, whose coin hath purchased thy services?
I'll show ya.
Oh no.
Game's up, Grandad. Put the sword down, or the kid gets it.
Stop it! Let me go!
Sir Sloane, you must do as he says. What kind of monster takes a child hostage?
Whatever. It worked, didn't it? All's fair dinkum in love and war. Now shut your whinging and hand over the crystal.
Please stop it! I do not have the crystal.
Hey?
You have hidden it somewhere. Very well. Then we will just have to take you instead.
Never!
You will let the child go free? Then I will do as you say.
Princess Gloria!
Hostage trade, eh? Not a bad idea. And I'd probably go along with it too if Greybeard here hadn't rubbed me up the wrong way.
Sir Sloane!
Fear not, Your Highness. 'Twill take a mightier blow than this to fell me.
Will it now? Well, there's a coincidence, because that's exactly what I was about to give you. Ready or not?
Your Highness!
I have already agreed to come with you. There is no need for further bloodshed.
Oh, yeah? Think you can tell me what to do ya? You ain't the princess of me, girlie.
All right, Dag. You have had your fun.
But...
She was telling the truth. She does not have the wind crystal. Now, do as we promised and release the child. You can walk, yes? You must fetch the wind crystal and bring it to the abandoned house north of town. Once you have done that, we will release Princess Gloria. But if you even think about bringing help from Halcyonia, well, I am sure I don't need to tell you what would happen.
Smell you later, Drongo.
Princess Gloria!
Well, that's unfortunate. Monsters freely roam the fields and dungeons of the land. Come into contact with one, and a battle will begin. When a monster notices you, you'll see an exclamation point symbol appear above its head, and it'll come charging towards you. Try not to let monsters approach you from behind, or you'll find yourself at a distinct disadvantage in the ensuing battle. As you work your way through the story, you'll occasionally see the words Party Chat appear in the top right corner of the screen. Press the Start button while this text is visible to enjoy a conversation between the members of your heroic band. The notification will disappear after a while, but you can catch up on any party chat you have missed by opening the menu and going to the travel log. So let's go ahead and see our first party chat. Comrades in Arms. So, what? Why are you staring like that? Oh, don't tell me you've taken a shine to Adele here. No, it's nothing like that. I was just wondering how long you guys have been traveling around together, that's all. I mean, the way you fight and everything, it feels like you've known each other for a long time. How long has it been, Elvis, since you first hired me? Crikey, I'm not sure. Did we meet before I set off, or did I bump into you later? I can't quite recall. Not that it matters anyway. Don't sweat the details, that's what I always say. So, you don't really know each other, or... Look, you don't need to go way back with someone to know that you can trust them. And trust is the most important thing. You might think you need to know someone for years, but that's not always the way. It's a feeling you have, that's all. And you've either got it or you don't. With Adele, I knew from the start that I was onto a winner. Had the same feeling about you and all. Listen to your gut, laddie. You'll not go far wrong. You definitely might, but let's just have him have this thing, shall we? Sure. I will be unapologetically doing my best at a Scottish accent for all of Elvis's party chats, and I am not sorry. Alright, last thing before we go back to Halcyonia and see what's up. We now have access to the Jobs and Abilities tab in the menu. Let's take a look at jobs and briefly go over them. Adjacent to this series, periodically being uploaded, I will be releasing videos over every single job in Bravely Default 2, going over them in way more detail than I can in this series, where I'm going to be jumping around them constantly. So, as this video is being uploaded, the Freelancer, which is the standard base job that most characters start with, will be uploaded alongside this video. It'll go into what the Freelancer can do and its abilities in way more detail than I ever could in this video alone. So, be on the lookout for that. But just briefly going over it here, Freelancer is kind of your very basic box standard jack-of-all-trades job that has middle-of-the-road stats and everything, has some decent specialties, like Stand Ground, which allows them to have a 50% chance of surviving a deadly attack with 1 HP, and their stats are overall pretty basic. Later on, they can obtain an ability that will raise their base stats based on how many jobs you've leveled up to maximum, but that's for later, not for right now. In terms of their abilities, Examine allows us to see the weaknesses and HP of enemies, as we saw in that first encounter, and the rest of their abilities are overall pretty standard stuff that are universally helpful to most jobs in the game. Pretty important to level up early on, if I do say so myself. Then there's the Black Mage, which Elvis comes equipped with by, just by default. And Black Mage is a little different. Its specialties and style is way more offensive focused, being very frail in the defense department, but having stats and specialties that allow for them to be very aggressive with their magic attack stats. And helping that is the fact that almost every single one of the Black Mage's abilities that they can learn as they level up are offensive in nature. The Black Mage has the ability to attack with the elements of fire, water, and lightning, with poison added on there in a little bit. But they just keep getting upgrades to their fire, water, and lightning spells. So if you have an enemy that is weak to any of those three elements, Black Mage is your guy. But overall, it's pretty weak in terms of the defense. We could go ahead and equip Seth and Adele to Black Mage if we wanted to, and Freelancer with Elvis if we really wanted to. I'm not going to mess with these jobs at all right now. I want to be leveling Freelancer on Seth and Adele, and I want to level Black Mage on Elvis for the meantime. And I'm not going to get into anything else right now. We've gone over so much in this first episode. Let's take a breather and just head back to Halcyonia and see if we can help out Sir Sloan.
Help! Somebody help me!
You okay? What's the matter?
A horrible man and woman took me, but then an old man and another woman came and saved me, but then the man got attacked and now he's really badly hurt.
We'd better go help him out. Will you show us where he is? Whoa! Are you okay? Wait a second. You're the guy from before.
Greetings, young seafarer.
You're hurt. We need to get you seen to right away.
'Tis not. But the princess...
What happened to Gloria? Is she okay?
The fiends took her.
Never mind that now. Let's get you to bed.
You're right. Come on.
Well, I'll be jiggered. So you're the famous Sir Sloan, eh? Lady Emma told me all kinds of wild tales about you, my man.
Oh, and how is dear Emma? Is she well?
I'm afraid she passed on 6 months ago or so.
I see. Thou wert her apprentice. Time truly does fly. Why, I can recall when the good lady studied under another herself. But forgive me, much as I would love to spend the day in fond reminiscence, alas, there are more pressing matters at hand. I must away and wrest her highness from the clutches of those unconscionable rogues.
Sorry, but you won't be resting anyone from anything in your condition. I'd be surprised if you could rest yourself out of bed.
But I must!
Well, how about I join you?
You are kind indeed, young sir, but I cannot allow it. The rogues in question are in possession of an asterisk.
Well, that's all the more reason to go deal with them, right? Besides, I owe you after you helped me out back there at the beach.
But good sir,
I'm coming too. If there's an asterisk involved, I'm there with bells on.
Thine aid is appreciated, but might I ask why the asterisk would interest thee so?
Oh aye, ask away, pal. It's because of this old book, see? I found it when I was going through Lady Emma's stuff. I couldn't read a word of it when I first picked the thing up. But we've an asterisk near it, and the gobbledygook starts making sense. And I'm nothing if not nosy, so I set out on a quest to find enough of these special wee stones to read the whole thing.
Intriguing.
If I can find another asterisk and help your pal into the bargain, then everyone's a winner.
Great! Then we should leave right away.
Though it weighs heavy on my conscience to enlist the aid of strangers, I fear I have little choice. You have my thanks, Her Highness has been taken to an abandoned building north of the town. Let us make haste!
Sir Sloan is now accompanying the party. Occasional companions, you'll sometimes be joined by other characters during the course of your adventure. You won't be able to control any such guest companions, but they'll help out with the odd attack and healing spell. You can use tents out in the field at safe points in dungeons. Using one will restore all your HP and MP and cure any status ailments, so it's a good idea to take a few along with you when you're setting out on the next leg of your adventure. You can buy them at all good shops, so be sure to stock up. Collecting asterisks will enable you to change your party members' jobs. I've already been over this. I beat you to the punch game. Alright, but with that, I think this is a decent place to stop for today. We've seen so much, and you know how games are at the start. Tutorials, 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 lots of cutscenes. And I think, before we see any more of those, we should probably take a break. So, next time on Bravely Default 2, we go and set out to save Princess Gloria. And with that said, I'll see you soon.